Thank you, Stephen. Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Stephen, for the introduction earlier. Now, just to forewarn everybody, I am going to speak fast because there's quite a bit to get through. So at least this is recorded, so you can rewind if you need to hear me speaking fast again and get through all the data. So there's lots to talk about, but I also don't want to overwhelm you. I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible at this stage. And then if you want to get into more detail about the project, do feel free to go back to the person who invited you, and then they can give you more detail around the project. One thing I wanted to say as well is that, basically give you a little bit of a background about me as a person, what my vision, my values are, and what my history is. So as mentioned earlier, as Ron mentioned, my past history has been in banking. Actually, if I rewind even further, I have a law degree from UCL. I was supposed to go on to become a barrister, but actually didn't enjoy law. Ended up in banking, not sure which is worse. So I've lived in the corporate world. I worked in banking for 12 years. And my role in the banks was as a credit risk analyst. And then I became a project manager, a program manager. And I basically got involved in credit risk in 2 years, in 2006, 2 years before the credit crisis of 2008. So when 2008 came along, people like myself were in high demand in the banks because what had happened up until the credit crisis was that a lot of trading activity was going on and traders weren't really abiding by the rules of the banks in terms of putting banks at high risk and your customers and stakeholders at high risk. So when 2008 happened, people like myself were in popular demand, and I became a credit risk expert. And what does that mean? So when I worked in banking, part of my role was I managed a global team at Standard Chartered Bank, actually, one of the emerging markets banks. And I managed a global team who were responsible for monitoring the trading activity of all the traders across the bank. And what we did, we were in effect the police officers of the bank. We'd be knocking on the traders' shoulders and saying, "Oi, you've gone over your limits, you're putting the bank at risk, you're putting our customers at risk." And that was my role back then. I also worked in asset securitization. For those of you who don't know what that is, I worked in a front office team where we created bonds. So this was again before all the high junk bonds that created the crisis. I worked in front office. And at one point, I did actually plan to end up sitting on the trading floor, and I did plan to actually trade myself and actually become a trader. Luckily, I didn't do that. I went into credit risk and I went the other way instead. So there's a little bit about my background. So I come from the banking industry. I left banking 7 years ago. And the reason I left banking was because I became disillusioned with the industry and realised after the credit crisis that I didn't want to be there helping the big fat cats make money. I wanted to help real people like yourself, myself, small to medium-sized enterprises, entrepreneurs, business owners, people who are employed. I wanted to help real people on the street who were paying for this mess that the banks had created. And I wanted to give my energy and time to people who deserved my time. So I left banking, and that's when I became a business coach. And as a business coach, I spent the last 7 years helping small to medium-sized enterprises actually build, grow their businesses, build their businesses for sale, executive coaching, leadership coaching, employee engagement, coaching employees in the well-being space and various areas, but anything business related, sales coaching, marketing coaching, you name it. So I've had a really great time over the last 7 years helping everyday real people like yourselves actually fulfill your potential. And that's my value. My gift in the world, my gift to life is to help other people achieve the things that none of us really have been taught. Okay, our education system doesn't teach us about financial freedom, doesn't teach us about looking after yourself. Our education system teaches us to go and get a job and pay taxes. That's it, bottom line. Just to let you know, I've been approached by many people around various businesses over the years, and never ever have I got involved in any kind of network marketing, multi-level marketing, affiliate programs. I've never got involved in any of these projects. And the reason is because I'll be straight with you. I'm a lazy entrepreneur. I'm not interested in selling people products they don't want. I'm not interested in having to ship product. I don't want to pay subscription fees, so on and so on. So I've never been interested. It doesn't matter what that business model looked like. I didn't do it. But when I came across, I was like, oh my God, this is an absolute no-brainer. And with my banking background, what I understand about banking and trading, it all made sense to me. So let me just move on to now the opportunity itself, so I can show you and demonstrate to you why it makes sense and why this is a no-brainer. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is this: there are no subscription fees to be a part of this membership. You buy a trading pack and that's it. As quickly as you get into this project, you want out, simple, you get out. There are no monthly fees, there's nothing to ship in terms of a product. We do have a product, it's a digital product, which I'll come on to soon enough. And it's just a very simple platform, amazing platform that will help you earn money passively while you sleep. Let me talk to you about why this business is involved in the foreign exchange market. Well, very simply put, if you look at these stats here, this is telling you the market share of various exchanges or various financial areas that you can get involved in terms of trading. So, for example, we have the New York Stock Exchange, the equities, futures markets, and we have the foreign exchange market. And as you can see here, the foreign exchange market today is transacting around $5.3 trillion a day. It's a huge market. And why is it that the foreign exchange market is so much bigger than all the other markets? Well, very simply put, money is what makes the world go round, okay? So even in a downturn economy, foreign exchange will never die because we're always spending money. Let's look at COVID over the last year and a half. Has it stopped people spending money? No. People are still going on holidays. People are still importing, exporting goods. Businesses still have to pay salaries and so on. So money will never die, and therefore foreign exchange will never crash or die completely. Yes, we're going to see some volatility in exchange rates, but nothing like what you would see in terms of stocks and shares. The reason is because stocks and shares are all about the performance of a business. So if you invest in stocks and shares in, let's say, retail, did you know last year that COVID was going to have this huge impact on the retail industry, and that many of the businesses that we know, or retail companies we know, like Debenhams, were going to go bust? No, we had no idea. So stocks and shares typically are more risky because you have to depend on the performance of the business, okay? So foreign exchange for me is a safer bet in terms of, if you look at the different markets that are available to you to get involved in. Now, one other thing to mention is they are a training academy and they train people in how to trade. And the product that they have for all of us to benefit from are their e-learning training modules. And just again, to give you some stats around the e-learning industry, the global market is predicted to be worth $325 billion by 2025. So any business that is involved in the e-learning market is in a very good position to capitalize on that in the future. Okay, so enough about that. Let's move further into a little bit more about the Forex market. Here are 6 other great reasons why you should be involved in the Forex market. This one I'm very interested in here. The Forex is the largest, most liquid financial market in the world. Now, what does that mean when we say a market is liquid? What it means is we can actually convert our asset into liquid money instantly or very quickly. So to give you an example, if you say you own a house or you have a mortgage and you own your property, let's face facts, you only own the equity in your house. You don't own the full value of the house that it might be put on the market. But let me ask you, how easy is it to liquidate that fund? How easy is it for you? Let's say you own £150,000 of equity in your house. How easy is it for you to get hold of that £150,000? It's very difficult. A couple of ways you can do it is do an equity release. Even that's if a mortgage lender will even let you do that. And also the only way really to liquidate your asset is by selling your property. Well, the foreign exchange market is very liquid because you can liquidate your funds within a day. Okay, so the kind of trading they do in foreign exchange are what they call spot trades, which are day trades. They may do a trade in the morning, close the trade at the end of the day, and they can liquidate that trade, and there we have a profit and we have the money that we can draw on. So that's what it means when we're talking about a liquid market. We've gone through the average traded, daily traded average of 5.3 trillion. And this third one, really, really important for me, historically proven to be recession proof. So even during the credit crisis of 2008 and the double dip in 2010, foreign exchange was still the safer place to be working in the financial markets. And if we just look at what's happened since coronavirus and over the last year, look at these results, okay? So last year, all of the members received 329.54% return on their capital. Absolutely phenomenal, absolutely incredible. There is nowhere else that you will find this type of opportunity. Now, let me ask all of you rhetorically, because I know the answer, how much did you make on your ISA last year? This year, I saw something came through about my ISA, my Barclays ISA. I'm lucky to earn 0.01%, if I'm lucky. What are you earning in your savings accounts right now with your traditional banks? 0. What are you earning on the money you deposit in your banks? 0. In fact, we are paying the traditional banks to hold our money for us. So some of us here might have a £6.50 a month fee that we've got to pay the bank to look after our money. So for me, I looked at this and I said, well, it's about time we start taking control of our own finances and take control of our own money. And let me ask you as well, do you actually know what traditional banks are doing with your money today while we're sat here on this call? So every time your salary gets paid into your bank account or you put savings into your bank account, the traditional banks, what they do is they pool and borrow the funds of their customers across the globe. They will take some of that money, a percentage of it, and they will trade it. They will trade it on foreign exchange, on stocks and shares, on equities, futures, and so on. And they make lots of money. What do they do with that money? Where do those profits go? Do you receive a thank you for lending us your money so we can make money? Of course not. Those funds are paid out to the big fat cats at the top, the shareholders, bonuses for the traders, and so on. We don't see a penny. So what I love about this opportunity when it came to me is exactly what the big players and the traditional banks do, and yet they are rewarding us as a thank you for trusting them with our funds, and they're giving us these percentages every single month. So at the moment, we're seeing around 1% a day on average, around 5 to 6% a week return. Now, let me take you through these numbers here. You will note that the numbers change. So January, February, March, at that point, members were receiving around 8 to 10% a week on their capital every single week without fail. And as you can see, come April, it then dipped and it dropped. And this is when COVID became a global crisis. So now we're receiving around 5 to 6%. And you know what? 5 to 6% a week. I'm still laughing. I'm still happy. I don't care. We're in a downturn economy. Where else can you earn 5 to 6% a week on your capital? You simply can't. So this is what we received in the last year. You'll note that December is half the value at 16%. That's perfectly normal. That's because globally across the world, all the financial markets shut down for 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year. And then let me just show you, this was 2020 results. 2021 has still been tougher, as we've seen that COVID has still showing its impact. But look, we're still receiving between 5 to 5.5% a week, 20 to 23% a month. And these are the results so far this year, 176.59% so far this year. Now, I joined this business in December last year, and I have been extremely successful, and it's absolutely been a lifesaver. Just to give you an idea, I left banking, became a business coach. I have a number of businesses, and during the credit crisis, the COVID crisis since last year, all of my businesses crashed to zero overnight. I've got bounce back loans, Sybil loans. I've got a lot of debt now, and I'll be paying off that debt for the next 10 years. So I'm looking forward to next year being able to pay off all my credit cards, all my bounce back loans, all the debts that have been created over this crisis. I will be able to pay off next year. I'm very, very excited about that. It's an absolute lifesaver, and this is saving people around the globe. Let's talk a little bit about that. This business is in over 191 countries globally already. We are over 300,000 members. And when I joined in December, we were at about 120,000 members. So in 8 months, that has more than doubled in terms of membership. I would say where we are at the moment in this business We are the early adopters. It is a fantastic position to be in. We are in year 3 and lots of exciting things have happened this year. Just recently, our head office has actually opened. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But let's talk about what it's really all about. So the founders here, Huascar Lopez and Edwin Abad. Huascar is the brainchild of the business, and he had a vision that he wanted to make financial education and financial freedom accessible to everybody across the planet. It doesn't matter how little money you have, how much money you have. He wants to bring this to the people. This is a business built by the people, for the people. And it's really interesting because obviously this group is called the superstars, okay? So the superstars, and it's all about people helping people. Well, guess what? My coaching business was called the People's Coach Limited. So this attracts people into this business who are really about working together as a team, working together to help one another. Okay, so it has an amazing community of people who are all looking to help friends, family, loved ones, in helping everybody to get out of these difficulties that we're in at the moment. So Huascar and Edwin are multimillionaires in their own right. They made their money in the foreign exchange market. They've also made money in the crypto market. They actually understand cryptocurrency very, very well and have been there since the beginning, but absolute multimillionaires. Huascar put this business out there to the market because he actually started it with his own family and friends, and then he decided to expand that to help more and more people around the world. So there's a little bit about Huascar. Just to let you know, when you become a member of this business, we actually have monthly calls with Huascar Lopez. Again, it is very rare to see a founder of a company speak to his members across the globe. Very, very rare. This man has nothing to hide. Okay, and this business is all about honesty and transparency. Again, another thing that sits with my values. So where are we based? The head office is based in Panama. It's a real shame today, actually, I don't have the actual pictures of the office. They just opened and launched the headquarters a few days ago on the 25th of September. I will be updating this presentation another time with the real pictures that we have available, but very, very exciting. They have spent millions. They purchased the 9th floor of the RBS Tower, Royal Bank of Scotland, the RBS Tower in Panama, and we now have a state-of-the-art office. This was delayed by a year because of COVID, and any member can actually rock up in Panama and go see the premises. You can go meet the founders. You can actually go there and do training if you want to. So this is, in effect, an office for the members. So it's absolutely fantastic. And just to tell you a bit more about Panama, Panama is the equivalent of Dubai of the Americas. It is the financial hub of the Americas. So Dubai, City of London, this is the financial hub. And this is where the money flows through from North America, South America, across Europe, the globe, you name it. So Panama is where they're based, and there we have it. And they have invested millions of their own money to actually have an office like this. Right. Now, how does the trading work? So this goes back to Edwin. So Edwin Abad is the brains behind the algorithm. So the way trading works is traditionally trading was always done by humans. In my day and age, when I was in banking, the majority of it was done by humans. But the challenge is with us as humans is we're emotional. And if anybody you know does amateur trading or says, oh, I'm trading in this or that today, or this is what I'm doing for myself, the chances are they may make big wins, but they're certainly making big losses because trading is an emotional game. So the way trading has evolved over the years, it's gone more down algorithm and AI. And we have EA design and management for forex trading. And this has been developed by Edwin and his traders and his team. And this is why we're so successful in terms of the results that we're getting every day, every week. So I won't go into too much detail about that. And let's move on to the proposition itself and how you can get involved. So as I mentioned, Academy, and what we have here are a series of online e-learning to learn to trade for yourself if you so choose. We have the Elemental series, Advanced Professional, Supreme. But let's face facts. The majority of members don't buy the actual training academy. What they buy is a trading pack. which gives you access to the training academy with it. So within this trading pack purchase is embedded the accessibility to the academy. So looking at this, as I mentioned earlier, this opportunity is for anybody, because you can get involved for as little as $300. This is starting the lowest value point that you can get involved, which is around £230 to £250. And what you'll see here is we have a ladder, and these trading packs increase over time. Oh, sorry, not over time, they just increase, and you can actually join this membership on any pack. You don't have to start at $300. So I have members who have started at 2K, 3K. I've got members who've started at $10,000. I even have members who've done $100,000 of their own money and actually used $100,000 of their own capital to start in this project. So you can start wherever you like, and wherever you start, you can build and grow your way up to what I call the daddy pig, the 100K trading pack. So let's move on to how these packs actually work. So first of all, there are two ways that you can actually earn money in this business. You can earn in what's called bear capital, and you can also earn in what's called bull capital. Now I'm going to focus more on bear today, but I will give you a little high overview of bull as well. So bears are people who are totally passive. So that means you purchase a trading pack at any value you choose, and you don't share it with anybody else. You say, right, I just want to do this for myself, and all I'm going to do is purchase a trade contract, and there you have it. There's my bear capital, and my bear capital is going to grow based on those 5 to 6% a week, the trading gains that I'm actually going to earn on my capital. The second part is the bull capital, and this gives people the opportunity, if you so choose, to share it with other people. So you may want to help your parents, you may want to help your children over the age of 18, or friends. So if you share it with somebody, there are also bonuses that you can earn through sharing the opportunity, and that's the company's thank you to you for bringing additional members into the opportunity. So let's take $1,000 as an example. What happens to a $1,000 pack? So with the $1,000, they don't trade the $1,000, they trade 70% of it for you. And that would be the equivalent of $700. So that is ring fenced. It goes into this trading account, and they will now trade that Monday to Friday every single week until, as the terms and conditions state, they guarantee to double the nominal value. So they will trade $700 Monday to Friday until that account reaches $2,000, which is 1,000 multiplied by 2. So you can earn a maximum of 200% on your initial capital here of $1,000. Now, what most of us do in this business is, rather than let our packs do what it says here, is double or cap out, we actually use whatever trading gains we've earned to upgrade and reinvest to actually upgrade to the next pack in the ladder. So if I've got $1,000 today, when I've earned a certain amount of trading gains in my account, I will then be looking to upgrade this pack to $2,000, a $2,000 pack. Okay, now there's a reason for that. Because the larger the pack, the larger the return. The percentage will remain the same, but you're going to be earning a bigger return far quicker. So there, in essence, is how the bear capital works. As a bull is somebody who's shared it. You only have to share this with one other person, and all of a sudden, your bonuses are opened up. So as a bull, for example, we have Stephen here on the call. Let's say, for example, Stephen said to me, Joanna, I'd love to be involved in this project. I want to start with $1,000. So $700 of Stephen's fund there will be traded for him, and he'll be earning his percentages. And then what will happen is $300, which is 30%, the other 30% goes into a pot called the Academy product. This is the e-learning. But what happens here is, This opportunity, $300, is put back into the system to the existing members. So the first thing that will happen is 50% of that, which is $150, would automatically be paid out to me as a thank you for bringing Stephen to the project. And it's called the Fast Start Bonus. So simply put, look at that as an affiliate commission fee as a thank you. The other 50% goes into another bonus called the uni level bonus, and I'll show you and explain how that works. But I can tell you now, I would earn another 10%, which is another $15 on top. So immediately I will earn $165, 150 plus 15, for bringing Stephen to the project. I'm happy, he's happy, the company's happy, everyone's happy. So this is all shared through the team. And there are people in this business who actually treat this business as their primary business. So if anybody here is interested in starting a new home business, I call this my kitchen table business. And this is what I love about it. I'm a mother of 4. We have a very, very busy life, very busy household. We run other businesses. I don't have time to be going out, getting a job, or being out and about trading my time for money. So I love home businesses that make residual passive income while we sleep. And so this is the opportunity for anyone who's interested in that. So let me just quickly run through the various bonuses. The first thing is all bears and all bulls. So whether you're passive or whether you're active and you share it, everybody can earn up to 15% per week. So the founders have capped the total amount we can earn in a week to 15%. As I mentioned earlier, we're seeing around 5 to 6% a week at the moment. It was at 8 to 10% before COVID. And fingers crossed, as the economy turns, we're hoping that these trading results will increase in the future at some point. Here's the 50% Fast Start bonus that I mentioned to you earlier. So this is the affiliate commission thank you fee. And here's the uni level. Let me explain a little bit about the uni level. So going back to my example, so imagine I've introduced this to Stephen. I'm sharing it with Stephen. I'd be level 0 in this scenario. Stephen becomes my level 1. So what this means is that every time he purchases a trading pack, or every time he upgrades a trading pack and actually increases it to the next level, I will always earn 10% of that uni level bonus, as he's on my level 1. And everybody who is my direct personal person who I've shared it with would be on my level 1. Now, let's say Stephen goes away and he decides, well, do you know what? I'm going to share this with my partner. And I think she should do it too. Well, he would use his own referral link and she would be here as my level 2 and Stephen's level 1. And then his partner may say, well, I want to share it with my mum and dad. So she puts them under her referral link and they become my level 3 and so on. So you see what happens is over time, your system will build underneath you and you are making passive residual income every single time people from level 1 to level 4 actually purchase a pack or upgrade a pack. So it's a really nice little bonus, 10% here and there that you'll gain. Now, as you'll notice on this table, we have some other levels, level 5 down to infinity. These levels open if you earn a certain number of points, which open up leadership ranks. I'm not going to go into detail about this. This you should really ask the person who's introduced you a bit more around this. But what I can tell you is that within 2 months, just over 2 months of me joining this opportunity and sharing it with my friends and family, I reached executive within just over 2 months and I reached manager within 3 months, which meant it opened my level 5 to level 8. So I've been earning from level 1 to level 8. Okay, so there's a little bit about that, but I'm not going to give you any more information on that because I don't want to overwhelm you. And finally, one other bonus. Now, let me just quickly, before anyone starts looking at this and saying in their heads, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Just because it looks like a pyramid does not make it a pyramid scheme. It is a pyramid form. Every single business on the planet, every single institution on the planet is a pyramid form, okay? And actually, we have institutions on the planet that we trust that are schemes. For example, the government. for example, many businesses out there. Because a pyramid scheme is where the only people who can really make the money are the people at the top. And anybody who joins later down the line doesn't make money. And this is one of the objections that comes up quite frequently. But what I want to prove to you here and demonstrate to you, this is not a pyramid scheme. And this is why. Because it doesn't matter where you join the business and what level pack you join on, anybody who joins after you can join at any pack they choose. They could be on a pack greater than yours. So for example, this person on $2,000 here, in this system, there's somebody with $20,000 and $10,000 and $5,000 beneath them in the system. Now, if this was a pyramid scheme, these people wouldn't be able to make more money than this person at $2,000. And I have the same scenario in my own team. I have members who've purchased $100,000 packs with their own money. I don't have a $100,000 pack trading. And yet they're in the system beneath me. So this is not a pyramid scheme, this is just a pyramid shape and form. So let me explain to you what the force matrix actually is and what this means. So even if you are a bear and you are passive and you do not share this with anybody because you don't have to and you don't need to, you will still earn bonuses from other people in this business who you don't even know. Now, this is important to note because every time anybody in this business withdraws their funds from their cash effects account, there is a 20% withdrawal fee. Now, there are always withdrawal fees with trading companies and various other projects out there. The difference here is that in this business, and this is a first, this business do not profit from the withdrawal fee. The withdrawal fee goes back again into the system, into the membership. And what happens is we can all earn these little percentages. So I'm going to give you the scenario. Let's imagine this is Stephen on 100,000 at the top. Congratulations, Stephen. And let's say Stephen shares it with me and I decide to do $20,000. But I don't want to share it with anybody. I'm just doing it for me. But Stephen has other people to share it with. So he shares it with his friend Bob, who does 2,000. He shares it with his friend Jan, who does 10,000. Oh, now I've filled in my top row. There are 3 people. Well, I still want to share it. I want to share it with other people. What happens? He now shares it with Claire. So Claire gets forced onto this second row, and she's come and done 20. And then Stephen shares it with Bill, and so on. So what happens is I've not shared it with anybody, but Stephen is busy running away, sharing it with lots of people. They have to go somewhere in this system. So the system forces them in what's called this 3 times 10 matrix. What does that mean for me? Well, as somebody who's passive, who doesn't even know Bill, Bob, Claire and whoever, every time Claire or Bill withdraw funds from their cash effects account, I will earn 3% of that 20% of withdrawal fee. And Stephen up here will earn 3% of those withdrawal fees and 3% of my withdrawal fees and so on. So the beauty of this, and by the way, this matrix will be worth a lot in the long run. In the early days, it's literally pennies. But in the long term, this is actually one of the biggest bonus pools ever. And again, you don't even have to share this with anybody to benefit from this bonus. So enough of those bonuses. And just to finish off, as I mentioned, there is a leadership program. And there are some rules around this, not going to go into detail, but for anybody who's interested in building this as a business for themselves, there is this program and there are additional bonuses that you can earn. So for example, when I hit executive, I could have taken the iPad worth $900, but instead I opted for 75% of the cash value, which was $675, I think. Then when I hit manager, I could have had the Rolex. I wasn't interested in the watch. I took $7,500 reward instead, and so on. And there are some other rewards in there as well. So there is the presentation. I hope that's been clear enough for everybody. Like I say, if I've gone a bit too fast, feel free to rewind and listen through to it again. One other thing maybe I should cover off. When you go Google this, because I'm sure you will, and let's talk about due diligence very quickly. Google is not due diligence. Google is the public toilet wall of graffiti. And when you go onto Google, you will see it's a Ponzi, it's a pyramid, it's a scam. You'll see these horrid YouTubers and bloggers who are trying to basically take down this business. And I want to explain to you a little bit about phishing and clickbaiting. So clickbaiting is where these professional bloggers or YouTubers go out, they literally will go look at Alexa, and they will search what are the top performing companies, currently home businesses, online businesses, and they will literally pick out some of those companies and start blogging and slagging off those companies, defaming those companies, and right at the end of their blog there'll be a little link that says, oh, come and have a look at this trading platform, come and have a look at what we're doing. And they are the scammers that are basically clickbaiting you away to go and do a project elsewhere, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to find you're going to get scammed elsewhere. Also, there is a lot on there about scams. What we're showing you today is not a scam. This is the legacy business. The only way you can be a member of this and be involved in this opportunity is through a referral link. There are scam websites. Be very careful. You'll find many websites. They are not the real deal, and people have been scammed because of cyber fraud criminals who have copied the logos, the platform, the look and feel of the platform, and people have registered without a referral link and lost their money. So the only way you can be a part of this legacy business is through a referral link, through the person who invited you to this opportunity. It's really important. And in terms of Ponzi, a Ponzi scheme is where a company purports to be doing something that they're not, and they're just using membership funds to feed the people above. As I've demonstrated to you, that's not possible. This is not a Ponzi scheme, okay? Because here we have trading gains, and you don't have to share this with anybody to earn. You can earn passively or actively if you share it. So the affiliate program on the side is irrelevant. You don't have to do any of that. You can earn just through the trading gains that we're earning every week. If tomorrow the company said, we are shutting shop, no more members, and we're only going to have the members we have today, this business will continue because we will all continue to receive trading gains and earnings. Okay, so I hope that clears that up for you. But please do feel free to speak to the people that that have invited you today or to this opportunity, and they will be able to expand more on that. And just to let you know, there are other similar businesses out there that have been going for 25, 30 years, and still if you Google them, it tells everybody they're Ponzi's and pyramids. They're not. They couldn't go on for 25 years if they were. A Ponzi or pyramid scheme would disappear within 6 to 12 months. We are now in business in year 3, and there is lots of exciting stuff coming. We're in the right place at the right time. We have new products and projects coming around the corner as we speak.